Well, hello everybody. Jeff Cowan here from Jeff Cowan's Pro Talk, and I'm back with another new edition of my podcast entitled Right Service, Write Your Own Paycheck, the path to making over $100,000 a year when writing service in the automotive industry in the United States of America, Canada, and or Australia. And like I always like to say at this very recording, just over 20% of you are doing just that, making over 100 grand a year. Can you believe it? But that means that 80% of you are not. So I strongly recommend you keep watching and listening to these podcasts. You go to my website, automotiveservicetraining.com, automotiveservicetraining.com, because there you will find all the tools, methods, processes, and techniques you need to get yourself in that $100,000 a year club. And you need to get yourself in that club this year. Right now, it's time to quit playing around. So let's make this happen. Hey, I'm back. We're going to stay true to the series I've been in, where I'm taking your questions, the most asked questions that I get, and I'm answering them through live performances and videos that I've done in the past. And today's going to be no different. Today, the question I get that we're going to address is Jeff, what is one of the biggest faults you see on service drives with service advisors and service shops, service owners, and the like? What's one of the biggest faults you see? And what you're about to find out is, I think the biggest fault is that most people really don't know their customer. They really don't know who their customer is. So in this next video, I'm going to explain to you something about this customer that's probably going to blow you away if you've never seen this response. Now, this was taken from an event that I did a few years back at the NADA convention. So if you like the video, you want to get the whole video, go to nada.org, nada.org. You can purchase the video there because they own it. But with that, let's find out. When you ask me, what's one of the biggest faults you see on service drives with business owners, service managers, and service advisors, I simply think that it's they don't know who their customer is, but I'm going to answer that and tell you exactly who your customer is, or a big secret about them right now. Enjoy the message.
It's never been easier to get these numbers. All right, so let me tell you why. I think the biggest problem we have in the industry, if I may say so, okay, is we don't know this customer. We think we know the customer. We think they know what they want, but we don't know this customer. Because if we did, the numbers wouldn't be falling through the floor. So let me introduce you to your customer and tell you the most important thing I can tell you about your customer, and it's simply this: they picked you. 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 Now let me ask you a question. Somebody answer this for me, please. If you were tonight going to go out and buy a new product or service before you ever left your home, what would you do? Research. How are you going to research? The internet. Why are you going to research? Because you want to know where to go, who's got the best deal, how long is it going to take, how much am I going to spend, all that stuff, right? Well, let me share something with you. So do your service customers. I don't care how long they've done business with you. Or if they've never done business with you. They wake up in the morning, they know they need some preventative maintenance or repair done with their vehicle. You know what they do? They Google it. And they'll be led to one of the 5 major blogs written by master technicians, and on that blog they will be told that what they're looking for is easy. Not going to take a lot of time. Might even be free because it might be covered under warranty. But in the same blog, they'll be told that what they're looking at is a great big job that takes a lot of time and a lot of money, and based on the mileage you have, don't be surprised when you get there if they don't tell you need this, this, and this, because you do. So now they know what they need, what it costs, and how long it's going to take. They then Google, who does that? And here's where it gets interesting, because your name will pull up on a page on average with 9 other places they could go, but they picked you. Why am I making such a big deal out of this? Because, see, it's never been easier to sell customers on a service drive. Never been easier to get survey scores. Never been easier to get effective labor rate, customer retention, and the like. You want to know why? Because they're already sold when they get there. Never been easier in the entire history of the automotive industry. They're already sold. I mean, think about it. It wasn't more than, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, before the iPhone came out, that the way somebody would choose to do business with you is they'd have to get in their car and drive down the street. And depending on where your building was placed, what it looked like, what was written on the sign would largely dictate whether or not they'd give you a shot. And if they gave you a shot, you had 5 or 10 minutes to convince them that you could handle what they came in for. But today when they get there, they're already sold. Trick question. Trick question. You know what the number one question is when somebody shows up on your service drive? I'll ask that in the class, and here's where how much is it going to cost? How much time is it going to take? They already know that. Here's the biggest question. Do you know as much as I know about what I need because I Googled it? Now think about it. Let's say you're looking for a TV. Everybody tells you to buy a 60-inch Samsung, every website you go to. But every one of those websites says this is a great TV out of the box, but if you buy gold-tipped HDMI cables for an extra $100, you'll double the amount of pixels, you'll double the sound. Make sure you spend that. So the first 3 or 4 places you go, they're not talking about gold-tipped HDMI cables. What do you think about those salespeople? They don't know what they're talking about. All right? So you have to know what these people are reading. This is the most important. This could be the most important thing right now that we're talking about in this whole class. I really believe, in all due respect, that we don't know this customer. Never been easier. All right, now before I go any further.